Hello everyone and welcome to another News Coolum video. I'm going to try to do another NorCal run. We just got word that a new site has opened up in Yreka, so I wanted to run up and check it out. Now, one of the issues is I'm getting out a little bit later than I anticipated or wanted to. It's already a little past 11 o'clock, and I put the Bolt EV back on the charger again to kind of warm up the battery and then push past Hilltop Reserve mode. I'm hoping I can make it all the way to Mount Shasta without needing to stop to charge, but it's in the 40s here right now. It was in the 30s overnight. And one of the reasons for the rush, though, is I'm kind of threading the needle. We got hit with an atmospheric river, and then the next wave is going to be hitting us again. And I want to be south of Dunsmuir by the time that the next one hits again, because that's where really you start to see the chain controls and things like that pick up. I'm just going to turn on the heater and defroster, grab the little boy, make sure everything is closed up and locked down, and we are good to go. So we actually lost a lot of the snow that we got last night. Pretty significant before, but yeah, we're up to 46 degrees right now, so I don't expect any snow below about 4,000 feet. Yeah, so the stream is decently up, but it's nowhere near, I think, what it was the other day. We got about 6 inches, I think, of rain in about 24 hours. So there was flooding down in the valley for sure. I saw several of the roads were even still closed yesterday when I was down there. Hopping on the freeway here. I can't remember if last time I stopped over there at Olive Pit. But here, just hopping straight on. It's already into the 50s, actually. So nice and warm. Oh, got to get ahead of a WRX. Sorry, buddy. You're too slow. We have a minimum estimated range on the range estimator of 109 miles, and our destination is 107 miles. So we're kind of cutting it close. Usually the range estimator is pretty conservative, but we are also heading into colder temperatures and also uphill a bit, so it might actually be spot on. We could be arriving with a very, very low battery. Heading through Redding right now. Actually, I think I might have just missed the supercharger. Everybody was talking about the one that they put in over there at the Holiday Inn, and I mean, I'm not super impressed with that location. I stopped at the EV gateway that was there, and then it looks like it's maybe stranded assets at this point, which is unfortunate, but the site itself really isn't great. In EV adoption, we've gotten to the point now where we don't need to just get in where we fit in, right? We need to be doing a better job of placing the recharging sites in locations that make sense. Nice view coming up right here toward Shasta Dam. There's a nice little bump in elevation before you get lake level. There's also a couple of charge point chargers along the way. One of them I've never visited, and I'm not sure if it's worth it to stop and see it right now. Literally, it would be like a 5-minute. Hey, you know what? Maybe let's just do it if we feel like we have time. Okay, Google. Bass Hole Restaurant. All right, so I just added it to my route planner. It's 13 miles ahead, and yeah, maybe we can dodge some of these slow-moving trucks heading up this hill and just do a quick quick stop at the Bass Hole. Bass Hole restaurant. Ah. We do love our puns in Northern California, let me tell you. I've known of this charger for a while. I'm just not exactly sure how I navigate there. Let's see. And this is what I thought. I thought it was on the other side of the street. So again, there's a lot of these small locations here, like that Chevron station there, that could benefit from a charger on site. And so I think we're not lacking at all for opportunities to install chargers. And there's a BZ4X, it looks like, leaving, so maybe they were actually using the Bass Hole charger. I don't know. Let's see. I'm keeping my eyes open because I don't know that they gave a great exact location. Oh, there. Okay, so that looks like Bass Hole right there. So let's see. Yeah, and it looked like whoever was there just left, or maybe someone is now plugging in. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure if they. So there's the EV9. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so how you doing?
Is it charging for you?
We'll find out. This is just the slow charger. Yeah, this one works. Is the other one not working for you?
Yeah, not for me, but yeah.
Did someone? There was
I
some.
think others are able to charge it.
Okay, so you don't know if it's just you or that was. So I think that BZ4X did just get off of this charger. The Kia EV9, the guys in the Kia EV9, I thought they said they had 19 miles of range left. They said they had 90. So they might try that BP Pulse that I showed in one of my last videos. Again, I'm not going to be here for more than just a minute or two. I just kind of wanted to check out the site. This is just a single charge point unit. I know a lot of people might complain about it. I feel like if it's a restaurant, you don't mind if people are here for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour even. And with this 62.5 kilowatt charger, that might be what it takes for some people to actually get a charge. There they go, the EV9 leaving. And then it's a win-win because you're basically at a restaurant. So I was just planning on this being maybe a 5-minute stop. Level 2 charger worked just fine. This one works just fine, and then we'll get back on the road again. A couple of these level 2 chargers, I really do like having these at DC charging locations, even if they're just off the freeway over there. Though, like I said, my big criticism is I think if you're gonna do level 2 charging at this point, this needs to be an 80 amp post. So it's 40 amps available per plug. I think that just needs to be the standard if you're gonna do any sort of level 2 public charging at this point. And then here, again, just a standard, then Bass Hole Bar and Grill, so come patronize them. I'll probably try to stop here one of these days just to eat. I don't know if that's gonna fit in this trip. Again, we're just off the highway. There's other amenities and things like that in town. Just a nice place to stop. And then, I can tell the weather's coming in too. So yeah, come by, patronize them. And then, the one other thing I was gonna say is, this is one of those sites where just because it's off an interstate, a lot of times these charging sites benefit certain directions of travel more than others. This is definitely a southbound charger, so come use this charger if you're going southbound. It's kind of out of the way if you're going northbound, which I was. So again, like I said, I think I've been running the heater, and I didn't look at any of this, but Charge points interfaces are never the greatest, but yeah. So I'm sure we're at 31%, and we only have like 40 miles left to go. So let's just go ahead and hit the road. Oh, there we go. And now we're gonna get this. So, and it's not cheap either, 61 cents per kilowatt hour, but you know, that's better than not making it to your destination. All right, back on the road again. This is a great stop. I'll definitely, this is kind of like the Vittles stop over in Anderson, where, you know, I mean, I guess your biggest criticism you could have of a location like this is that they just need more charging posts, right? Like literally 3 EVs here within a matter of 5 minutes of each other. Again, even in rural Northern California, right, this is a thing. We should have plenty of juice to make it, and then just make sure. This is a weird little, not quite roundabout, but get back on. Yeah, just kind of going through the Scenic area. You couldn't probably see it from that vantage point, but there was one of the old railroad bridges down there in the canyon, just above the river. Some mule deer coming down the hill, and I had to laugh when I was when I was talking to those guys over there at Bass Hole. I thought they said they had 19 miles of range left. So I said, oh yeah, there is the BP Pulse. If you're heading south, you should be able to make it. But no, it turns out they had 90 miles of range left. So, you know, I pulled in with 36 miles of estimated range or whatever. So my mind is like 19. Wow, that's low. But no, they literally had 3 times as much range left in their battery as I had, and they're going downhill basically, reduced elevation, and toward a whole bunch of charging infrastructure that they could use. So that I think that BP Pulse might be the first DC fast charger heading south, and it's like 21 miles away from Bass Hole. So they can make that one no problem, or realistically they could probably make it all the way to the Electrify America in Anderson. Just blew away some of the fog with the defogger. I'm hoping you can kind of see this as we come around. The Castle Craigs, really scenic. One of the fun places to drive by and just kind of look out and see the rocks. I think they actually featured it in a few movies, but oh wow, they are covered in snow right now too. I'm hoping you got a peek from behind the camera. We're about, I would say, maybe 100, maybe 200 feet at most below the snow level. We just passed Yaks and Dunsmuir, and so far, like I feel like we're. Oh, and then okay, our battery just hit the low warning, right? Not the audible, but just the orange, to let us know that we have about 15%, and we have about 8 miles left to go. Yeah, so now we had the audible warning. We're about 4 miles out, but yeah, I'm not really worried at all, other than just some really erratic people on the road. This is just sort of that nice winter weather, which, you know, I've come to appreciate. It's basically like, hey, look, you know, maybe we don't have harsh weather, but we have enough seasonal weather to just get you in that spirit, and you're not stuck with snow 6-8 months out of the year that you have to shovel off your driveway and whatnot. So I feel like it's kind of the best of both worlds. Really, you get the benefits and none of the none of the drawbacks. Because the pavement, at least on the interstate, is relatively dry, so no real concern about ice or anything like that. So, and I can't remember if the Blazer EV has a two-tone front. If it does, we might actually be getting trailed either to this charger or another charger based on by a Blazer EV. We'll see. Okay, and then, like I said, plenty of snow here, and then we're yeah, one of the things is I can't really see the charger from here, so you don't really, you kind of have to commit to going before you find out if there's actually a stall open. But it looks like we should be okay. And I'm gonna glutton for punishment. I'm gonna try the one I tried the last time where the payment reader didn't work. See how they are at fixing. All right, well, here we are. Let's just try this charger, see if this payment reader works this time. It's quite the winter wonderland here. Well, that's a good first start. And then these cables are frozen. But it looks like the payment reader worked, accepted my payment. I will say that the handshake is a little bit long, but it looks like it managed it just fine. And we're pulling 44, 45 kilowatt. So there's still a little bit of, I think, the battery is still probably a little bit cold. But yeah, and then of course, just going around here, it looks like all the payment readers. So one of the big complaints about some of the other charging providers that Yreka clearly has managed to figure out, Mach-E, is that, you know, you can have a charger go down, that's okay, but it's not okay to have it stay down. What the heck? So unreliable. What? How is it possible that EV chargers are more reliable than gas? What? 2? Oh, I don't know how you guys do it with your gas cars. Your fueling infrastructure is just so unreliable. I can't tell on this screen. I'm hoping that contrast comes out. You can just barely make out the outline of the mountain. Unfortunately, well, so I was able to run in and use the bathroom, but there was a line. I can't tell if someone's payment wasn't working, but they had like 5 or 6 people there. So how long have we been here now? Yeah, like 15 minutes. Like I literally just got out of the restroom right now. Just kind of admiring the view. Yep, that's it. Okay, so found it. It's 40 miles away, basically, a little bit more than 40 miles away. This is really good spacing. Plugged in, destination, looks like it's just over 30 minutes away. 37 miles, but 33 minutes, so I guess not bad. And then, so first, holy crap. I tested these out on a whim. I've had one of them already. I am not sponsored, but Bavarian Meats, if you want to send me a few cases, we'll work something out. So yeah, hashtag not sponsored, hashtag blessed. Like, what is wrong? You know, you have this wonderful charging provider doing all this great work, and what do? You just leave the charging handle laying on the ground. Come on, people. Be kind. Attach your charging handles. But yeah, it looks like really all these chargers are up and running. This is exactly what you want to see from a charging provider. And I just can't emphasize this enough, right? Is like, had these guys been on the scene 3 to 4 years ago, I think you would have seen a significant difference in not EV adoption necessarily, but perceptions of EV adoption, and I think perceptions of what we can expect from charging providers. So I think we're pretty good here. You notice the power's already starting to drop a little bit. I still have the heater running. Oh wow, we're here over 30 minutes. That was not my intention. I was actually planning to unplug right at around 30 minutes, but this works out. So I guess I was already there. I wanted to be on the side of the handle. So I'm just gonna end the session. And actually, so here you go. That's another one of the Cal EVIPs. So that, I didn't even see that before, realize that. But that EVgo station that I was checking out in Chico looks like it was funded by this same Cal EVIP group. So maybe there's something to that. All right, I am definitely going to say this was an amazing charging experience, and you don't need to email me anything. I got the receipts. All right, so let's hit the road. We are definitely burning daylight and getting perilously close to a storm front. And yeah, this definitely gives a sort of festive holiday mood. Really, the only thing that I think would be missing from all of this is just have some more lights out, some blinking, flashing lights, if you will. Maybe not blinking, flashing stoplights, but yeah. We're seeing a lot of redundancy in the EV charging infrastructure in the North State here, and I'm all about it. I am all about it. So, you know, charge us some more as far as I'm concerned. This is such a beautiful area, such a great place to travel through, having diverse options in terms of where to stop. I think it's great. Yeah, the wind is actually already starting to pick up quite a bit, but it looks like we're both lowering and in elevation, and it does look like there's a real reduction in the snow that fell on this side. So we could just be in like the rain shadow of the mountain, leaving Shasta National Forest, but so yeah, we could just be in the rain shadow, and that's why it's a little bit drier on this side. It did cool down though, but we're back up again. So I think, I can't remember, but I do feel like Yreka was in a bit of a valley that you kind of go down into a valley with Yreka, and then you start going back uphill again when you go into Oregon. Oh, we finally increased our freeway speed. Maybe I didn't notice it, but I probably wouldn't have been able to take advantage of the faster posted speed anyway, just because there's been a lot of traffic, a lot of slow movers on our Sunday morning drive. But that being said, I mean, we're still going. California is a big place. All right, so we're now entering into Yreka, and then of course the speeds drop again. So we only got 70 mile an hour freeway for a little while. Of course, someone actually, I think, got a ticket on the 70 mile an hour stretch right behind us. And I mean, I slowed down a little bit, but, you know, I was still passing someone. So I was doing, I think, 71, 72 miles an hour. And the person in front of me wasn't doing that much more than maybe 75. And it looks like the highway patrol decided to pull them over. So, you know what, you go 5 over or 10% or whatever makes you feel comfortable. And I know people who work for the highway patrol, and they've told me that it's always at their discretion. So you could be 1 mile an hour over, and if they feel like they want to pull you over, they can pull you over for that. Yeah, this looks like it's one of the later exits. We've already passed, I think, 2 of the charge point locations. Maybe, I mean, I guess technically there's a 3rd charge point location, but that's the one that's at a rest area. So I guess charge point won the contract for that one. But yeah, there's also an Electrify America, of course, in Yreka at the Walmart. Or I should say, there is an Electrify America in Yreka, and of course at the Walmart. So, and yeah, this one actually looks like it's a pretty good stop too. And again, you know, I mentioned that thing about northbound versus southbound chargers, or chargers that facilitate northbound travel versus chargers that facilitate southbound travel. This one, again, looks like it's more tuned for maybe a southbound traveler, whereas the one we stopped at in Mount Shasta was definitely better, I think, for a northbound location. And okay, so this is nice. This is a big sign. This is festive, right? I would have loved to see these in Mount Shasta, but it looks like almost like a roundabout, kind of weird. And then pulling in, oh, Casa Ramos. Okay, so that's a nice little place to have an eat while you're waiting. Let's see what kind of damage we can do here. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, 200 miles into the trip. Oh. Ooh. I tell you what. Stiff cables. Oh, stiff cables. Stanchion alert. Oh. This looks like these are statements of facts, so they aren't questions. That's interesting. Just want to make sure. These cables are stiff enough. I don't really feel like I need to support them too much with the Bolt EV like I do with the Huber Plus Sooner. There could also be a tolerance issue. So we've seen with the Huber Plus Sooner, they have issues with like the Spark EV, and then, you know, we're seeing something even like with the Nissan Ariya where it's missing the clip, right? So there are some issues with tolerances and standardization, which, I mean, seems like it might almost be a moot point at this point with CCS sort of being phased out in favor of J3400, but it is still an issue. So let's talk about this site a little bit, because oh my goodness. And then here's the other charger over there. This site was not supposed to be up yet, right? Like, that was the thing, is this site, they were anticipating, I think, maybe as late as like spring of next year. And they're like, nope, we got the power drop, we got the gear, let's go ahead and put it in now. And so they did. Oh, jeez. This is amazing. And then Minor Street Station, this is just wonderful. I mean, and even their gas pumps are even more reliable. That's 76 quality. That's like 76 is like the Tesla of gasoline. But yeah, and then of course we have another spot over here. Like they could have actually fit one more charger, I think, in here, and maybe they should have, just to make a statement. But goodness gracious, yeah, and then all of the card readers look like they work. Oh no, it looks like Grandma's House restaurant is shut down. That is unfortunate. That would have been a place you would have wanted to eat, at Grandma's house, when you're charging your EV. Yeah, so I guess maybe this was what they were waiting on, and then they got it in anyway. So just maybe the transformer, the power drop. Of course, they like to use their on-site battery. Just all around, just great. And then of course you have your air station here if you need it. Yeah, and there's like, and this is the thing is too. This is just like, imagine bringing your kids here. I feel like this is such an understated thing about charging sites, because that's what I loved about Selma, the EV Go in Selma. And I mean, I get that some of this is festive because of Christmas, but even if it wasn't, right? You pull in and plug in here. It's got all like the sort of landscaping, the brick layout, and then you have a little doggy area here, which I might need to use in a minute, even though he is not friendly to the cold, or the cold is not friendly to him. Walter will love this. There's a place to deposit your deposits. And you've got this little brick path, right? Like it's just, even for young kids, and you could just stand in front of the statues or the sculptures and take a picture under the Yreka poster. This is just, and then of course the mining, you got your sluice box here. This is just awesome. Like all around, it's just an awesome location, awesome stop. I don't know if I can see yeah, either way, just like this is a type of stuff, like there's a sort of a novelty to it. And I'm going to talk about this in a bit, the sort of the novelty of EV charging on trips, because I think it gets overlooked. And then of course, this is the freeway. Like how close are you to the freeway? Like literally, like I get to just pull through this parking lot right here, and then I am right back onto the freeway again. This is like literally 30 seconds to a minute to exit the freeway and then get back on the freeway again. It is just like phenomenal, this type of a location. Like I said, if I had showed up with a lower battery, more time to spend, maybe I would walk over to Casa Ramos to have a meal, just a sit down meal. There's if you need to use the bathroom, I'm sure they have a bathroom open to customers. You can get some coffee. Yeah, this is just awesome. And then of course, I can't tell if the battery is still kind of cold. It wouldn't surprise me that it is, because it's in the 40s right now, and it's not even 3:30 yet, so it's dark. But I'm telling you that, like, that's the weather that's coming in. I mean, I know the sun is going to set in about 3 hours, but yeah. And then of course, again, if you have kids, you just walk down into Old Town, or you're just downtown Yreka, and then whoever, mom or dad, gets done charging and then drives down to meet you wherever you walked, and you got to see the sights and the streets and the lights and everything. This is what charging an EV, that experience, is supposed to be. The one thing that I would say is, obviously you're lacking pull-through charging stalls. So if you are towing a trailer, it's going to be difficult. And then no canopies over the charger, so you don't get that same experience that the gasoline cars get. We're kind of burning daylight here, but one thing that I wanted to mention, so I put in Redding to get back. They're saying basically it's 98 miles and an hour and a half to get back to Redding. And so, like I said, I think we only have maybe maybe an hour left to beat the storm southbound. But also, I just noticed exactly 185,000 miles. How cool is that? So, yeah, we're gonna wrap up here. You know, just running the heater a little bit and taking a little extra juice from the station. But we've been here for almost 17 minutes now, so it's getting about time to start heading out. 20 minutes, not bad. Yreka, more like Yreka. So far, I don't have any alerts on my maps, but yeah, let's just show how easy this is to get out of here. All right. So they have an entrance and an exit, one on either side. And like I said, this is almost like a half circle, half roundabout. Just make a left turn. Looks like this is all just one way, maybe, that's why. And then you're out of the parking lot and then making a right turn onto the southbound freeway. And this is why I say this is usable northbound, but it very much is an ideal southbound charging stop, because you're just literally off the freeway and back on it again, just in a jiffy. So this is what the mountains look like heading the other direction. So Cascade Wonderland Highway. That is a crazy name. We are on the Cascade Wonderland Highway. So I've been watching the range estimator versus the 76 miles right now to get into Redding, and it looks like the range estimator is still a little bit lower. So it's saying like 72 miles versus 76 miles to go. The only thing I can hope is once we crest over the summit, then the efficiency will improve again. And also, you know, we're on 70-mile-an-hour roads right now. They're going to be transitioning to 65-mile-an-hour roads pretty soon. Here coming into Weed, and so again, like, this is one of those things where there's a lot of redundancy in this section for Electric Era. So they have the 4-charger or 4-dispenser installation in Mount Shasta. They have a 4-dispenser installation here in Weed. And then they have a 4-dispenser installation in Yreka. So you're talking about 12 dispensers, essentially 24 stalls across basically a 40-mile stretch of I-5 corridor. It's what I love to see in terms of redundancy and resiliency and whatnot, but there's also a coverage aspect that needs to happen. And then the other thing that I was going to mention as we come around here near this Vista Drive exit, this is where the Pilot Flying J is. I want to see if they have a services sign on this side. I mean, they do say EV fast charging, and that's at that Comfort Inn. But if you look at, okay, that's the food. And all right, here's where the Pilot Flying J sign on the fuel exit. If you look below Pilot Flying J, they have EV charging. So on the freeway signage, you can see as you're driving down the freeway whether that Pilot Flying J has an EV charger. That is absolutely amazing, because I hate to break it to the techno bros who are all connected. There's a lot of people who are going to end up driving electric vehicles like they drive their gas vehicles, which is they're not going to plan. They're just going to drive. And, you know, if you see a Pilot Flying J and it says EV charging and you say, oh, I got 50 miles of range left, better stop now, they're going to pull off the freeway based on that signage. They're not going to be planning their trips. They're just going to be driving like we see people driving gas cars today. And this is where we get that nice downhill efficiency boost. Yeah, I think we did it. I think we successfully beat the weather. All right, I wasn't too far off. It's 4:39 right now, and we've been driving into rain for about the last 5 minutes. So, yeah, this front is finally catching up to us. All right, well, it's already starting to get dark enough that can't really film too much with the camera, but we're 4 miles out from the BP Pulse location. If you're putting in 2 to 4 charging stalls per gas station off of these freeway exits, to me that's just going to do so much more than putting in a massive 20, 30, 40 charger hub here or there. Like, yeah, I get you want to make sure that there's a plug to access, but I think if the 76 station here and the Chevron station here also had chargers in addition to this Arco station, then, you know, why would you really even be that concerned, right? Okay, so there's only 4 stalls here. If they're all full, are the 4 stalls across the street full? What about the 4 stalls across the other street? Are those full? So I don't know. Like I'm definitely more of a coverage person than I am a concentration person. All right, let's see if we can get this charger started. Maybe I did that wrong. All right. Get this. All right, so it's saying that now. Yeah, the instructions on this aren't clear. I don't know why it was. All right. I think this payment reader might be bad. So press button to start. It's hooked up. Communicating with vehicle. So either they deactivated their chargers, or they're trying to limit it now to only their app, which this is kind of unfortunate, because if you're gonna do a payment reader, do a payment reader, BP Pulse. If you're not, I'm not gonna download your app. Sorry. So I mean, I guess that's the way to lose customers permanently, is to not allow credit card payments, or at least just screw them up so that they don't work. Nope, and no response from the payment reader. So, yeah, what can I say? I mean, yeah, BP Pulse knows how to lose customers. All right, well, I need to use the bathroom anyway. All right, well, change of plans, because BP screwed everything up. I just did all of my shopping, so it's a little bit late. As you can see, this is where I am planning to go, but I am here now. So what I'm gonna do, there's a Target here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and authorize this, plug in. See if I can do all of this one-handed, which I should be able to do. So I'm going to plug in here, get this charging, and then, yep, in use. I don't know what the price is on it. It's already starting to rain. But I'm gonna feed the little boy who's hungry, and I'm gonna walk over and grab something to go from In-N-Out, and then basically just bring it back, eat here with the little guy, and then hit the road. So as you can see, we were at 11% when we started. So it's gonna be a little while. But hopefully what this means is I can just eat my dinner in a relaxed way, and then get on the road and not have to worry about it. So anyway, so I was probably a little bit more upset than I should have been with BP Pulse at the time. But the thing is, like I said, if you're gonna offer a service and you have a credit card reader on your charger, that credit card reader needs to work, right? It needs to. And so this is the first time I've encountered a BP Pulse charger being down in terms of the credit card reader, but it looked like it was down across the site. And in fact, there was a FreeWire charger too that was a BP Pulse that was apparently down, but only down for credit card payments. So I don't know if this is BP Pulse just basically pulling the plug on their credit card readers, but they really, to try to encourage people to use the app. But we already have app fatigue. We already have account fatigue. I have a payment account with EVgo. I have a payment account with ChargePoint. I have a payment account with Electrify America. I have a payment account with Tesla. I'm not going to add any more payment accounts. And in fact, I'm likely to start removing some of them. And so BP Pulse wanting me to have another, payment account, and in addition to Shell Greenworks that I already have, in addition to EV Connect that I already have. No, I'm not going to do a BP Pulse check. I'm not going to do a BP Pulse app. California says new chargers need to have credit card readers. Well, I would assume that means that they also need to work. See, already down to 35 kilowatt. It's a pretty busy center too, and that's the other thing, is we're getting the holiday shopping. All right. But these are old and trusty, and actually we were here for 40 minutes, so 40-20, Elon. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong thing. Anyway, that's the wrong number. So let's go. Okay. Plug in first. So they say. I think this is the cable that might have had issues last time I was here. All right. Just doing the quick handshake. Let's see. Charge error. Yep. Electrify America being Electrify America. Yeah, so it's that cable again. So there's something wrong with that cable on the right-hand side. Yeah, just straight up to 51. I'm just gonna run in, grab some things, and then we're gonna leave. I doubt we'll beat the Ioniq 5. I think it looks like they're already done, maybe? I don't know what, oh no. I don't know what they're doing. They're not even plugged in. So, all right, I'm gonna run in and grab some stuff and be right back out again. Shopping done. Stop beeping at me. We've been charging for 13 minutes now. The Hyundai Ioniq left already. We're joined by a Polestar, it looks like. So yeah, we're still charging at 51 kilowatt, but we have plenty of juice to make it. So we're gonna go ahead and close out the charging session and get going. Up to 36%, so more than enough. And then, yeah, for whatever reason, this cable still isn't working. And then just a quick $5. Yep, see. Ooh, busy station, just off the freeway. We made it home, a little over 422 miles, almost 423 miles this trip. Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of funny because yeah, we just hit that visual low, right? It just ticked down to the range estimator going orange, getting home. But comparing this to, you know, leaving Willows with a little more than a third of a battery in the Bolt EV versus the other day I tried to do that with a full battery in the Volt. So no spoilers, but yeah, you'll have to watch to see the difference between a full battery on a Chevy Volt and a third of a battery on the Bolt EV. But the big takeaway here is electric Era is kicking butt. I know they're still small, they're still somewhat regional, but in less than 6 months, they have like 10, 12 charging sites online. Not all of them are, you know, they're all pretty reasonable size. Some of them are only single charger units, but most of them seem to be at least that 3 to 4 dispensers with split power. Varying numbers of stalls associated, like I think the one in Weed, at least one of the chargers only had one charging stall allocated to it, so it was basically a standalone 200 kilowatt charger. I think personally they're kind of right sized with one exception, and that exception really is the GM EVs with the bigger batteries. And then to that extent, basically any EV that's towing. So it really looks like electric Era is kind of targeting that gas station convenience store freeway stop for smaller, more efficient vehicles with, you know, small to medium sized batteries, reasonable efficiency. So it really does turn it into basically kind of replicating the gas station stop experience if you're in a gas car. But like I said, they are a little bit underpowered. I'd like to see electric Era maybe try to experiment a little bit with some split power 400 kilowatt units. And then of course, with that, maybe some options for some pull through charging stalls so that they can start maybe catering to some of the newer EVs with bigger batteries and larger towing capacities. But otherwise, I think they're great. And then, of course, the thing that I think, as I was driving back from Reading, I was just kind of picturing all the places where electric Era could put in a charger. And I'd love to hear what you think. Did you enjoy this little NorCal excursion, trying to weave between two waves of an atmospheric river? Anyway, I've got a lot to unpack. And Steve, yes, I got a Christmas tree. Anyway, have a good night and thank you for watching.